you think? Nice. Like that?
Yeah.
All right, folks, feel free to stand up. You can take those earplugs out for a few minutes. Ask me some questions.
How deep is the water here?
Oh, you're a good man. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you. How about that?
3 feet, I think.
How much do you think?
I think around that, 3-4 feet.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. If I don't come back, you drive, okay? It changes a little bit, but all the water's roughly in the Everglades. It all, you know, water finds its own level.
1.5 feet.
Yeah, about 1.5 feet. Okay. Have y'all had a cup of coffee this morning, brushed your teeth, or took a shower? It came from right here. This is our aquifer for the state of Florida. Yes, sir. It starts at Lake Okeechobee. It's roughly 50 miles wide, 100 miles long. And it moves at a rate of 1 mile every 36 hours. Have you ever heard the Everglades called the River of Grass? This is the slowest moving river in the world. Any other questions?
Daddy.
All right, for all you ladies.
I have another question.
Yes, sir.
Which area is the best to visit? The one that is in Homestead or in going to Naples by Fort Lauderdale or here?
What?
To sightseeing, the best sightseeing.
For National Park, you mean?
Yeah.
The one in Homestead, I would say I live in Homestead. The one that's down in the bottom end of Homestead, it goes to Flamingo. That is the westernmost point that you can go to of the state of Florida. It goes all the way to saltwater. But if you wanted to venture around, that one's longer. It's I think it's like a 30-mile trip all the way to the end.
Okay.
But they have pull-offs all through it. Pines, Everglades, I would say that one.
Okay. Thank you.
What was I saying? Got confused. Oh, the ladies. I need a volunteer. I think she needs a volunteer. All right. Y'all ladies pay good money for this stuff right here. Look, see how it's got good compaction. We can wipe it all over. But that's what's on the bottom. See, it's all dead grass and it's mud. This is fairly hard. I'm only sinking in the mud about that far. Where I turned around over there is where I usually stop and do my tours. And over there, you sink in the mud about that far. But I usually tell you about sawgrass. This is all needle grass. One of the reasons I tell you not to hang your hand out the boat, see the tall grass behind me and the tall grass in front of me? That is called sawgrass. Yes, sir. You can rub your hand up it. I can cut it off and you can go like this, no problem. But as soon as you go this way, it'll slice right through your hand. I mean, it'll make you bleed too. So you can imagine the Mississippi Indians and the Seminole Indians, this is where they lived, way before we had roads and all that. So, but they didn't have airboats at the time. They had pole boats. So they literally had to pole through it or walk through it. Rough life. Mosquito infested Everglades. Any other questions? Snakes. 62 species. Whoop! It got you. It had you. 62 species of snake. 5 of them are poisonous. Most common one you're going to find in the Everglades is the water moccasin, better known as the cottonmouth. The other 4, coral snake, eastern diamondback rattler, pygmy rattler, and the copperhead. There is another one, if you read a book, so you say, oh, that tour guide didn't know what the heck he was talking about. There is another one, it's called a timber break rattler. But I was born and raised here. My dad had me swimming in this. That was when I was in diapers. I've been born and raised in the Everglades. I've never seen a timber break my whole entire life, so I don't tell people about them because I've never seen one. But there is the 6 snake, and it is the timber break rattler. And I've never seen one. I think maybe North Florida has them, but Everglades doesn't. Any other questions?
Have you ever got to see an anaconda or something?
Anaconda, no, but the Bernese python, yes. We have a problem with them now. There is a big problem with them. We're legally allowed to kill them on site. No permit, no, just boom, cut their head off, shoot them, whatever you want to do.
They don't belong to you.
They do not, they're not a native species, and they're taking over. There is, if you get on the computer, I don't even know how to turn one on, but my son does, so he shows me all this. 10 miles from here, straight on the other side of the road y'all came in on. On the other side, it's called Area 3. That's where if you get on the computer, you see the 15-foot Bernese python ate the 6-foot alligator. That's where it was. And they are here. And what it did, it tried to strangle the 6-foot alligator, thought it was dead, and he swallowed it 3/4 of the way. Well, the alligator came alive. And he split the snake open, so both of them died inside each other like that. And they took pictures of it and all that, and he was 15 foot. So if he can swallow a 6-foot alligator, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
But is there a lot of those snakes here?
Yes, sir. The other day I was doing a tour, and the national park has a few of them in this area that they have GPSs on them. So they've been tracking them. And I saw him land, and then he flew up. He went over about to that head and landed again, and he flew up, landed over here, and that's what he was doing, was checking those snakes. Just give you an idea, there was one there, there's one there, there's one there. That's a lot of snakes. And they have, 20, 30 babies at a time. And they don't want them here. Alligators. Alligators in the state of Florida, we have 1,500,000 of them. Right now, it is legal to kill alligators if you have the permit. They have come back so well. They're off the endangered species list. You're allowed to possess them. If you have the permit and you have somebody that knows somebody that has an airboat, because you got to do it at night, you can go out with the permit and kill 2 alligators. Costs you roughly $450, $500 for the permit. But legally, you're allowed to possess 2 alligators.
What about crocodiles?
Crocodile, no. Go to jail forever. But there is crocodiles here, but it's in the Florida Keys. There is crocodiles.
What's the difference between alligator and crocodile?
Alligators and crocodiles. Alligators are black. You just saw a couple of them. Crocodiles are kind of a brownish with kind of brown spots on them. They have a pointier nose, and they're a little more aggressive, but they're in salt water. This is all fresh.
Size-wise, they are similar? Or?
Similar, yes, but I think the crocodile gets a little bit bigger. Crocodile will get up to 20 feet. Biggest alligator I've ever seen personally was about 14 feet in the wild, about 800, 900 pounds. I've seen, if you get back to, when we get back, walk in where you buy your food or your drinks, look up on the right-hand side. There's a picture of an 18-foot 2-inch alligator that was killed in Tampa. So, and there's a 6-foot guy sitting next to it. He dwarfs the guy, dwarfs him. And the alligator's laying on the ground. It looks like something out of the dinosaur days. It really does. Go look at the picture. It's pretty neat. Any other questions?
How does this boat run? Is it run on air or what?
No, not at all. See the propeller?
Uh-huh.
That's a car motor, 500 horse car motor. It has a 2.2 gear reduction on it. So when I give it gas, the motor turns 4,600 RPMs. The props turn in 2,400. It reduces it down. Okay. And the faster that prop spins, the faster we go. And how I steer it, see the stick? When I push the stick forward, it turns right. You pull it back, it turns left. But you got to understand, all it is sliding. Mm-hmm. So you have to, like when I turn a corner, I turn way before we even get to the corner, so it slides around the corner.
Oh, okay.
Takes a little while to get used to them, but it's not much to driving them. Once you get used to them,
it looks like it's frictionless.
Yeah, it's just sliding. Yeah. That's all it is. It's like drifting on water.
What is the average speed for the?
I cannot take you all over 30 miles an hour. Okay. The boat will run about 60.
Okay.
With nobody in it. But there's a GPS on it. See the boat number in the front? Yeah. As soon as I go over 30, my boss, when I get back, I let you all get off the boat. He pulls me in the office. He writes me a ticket. And us tour guides, we work for tips. That's how we make our living. So the ticket's not worth it.
No.
Everybody asks me, go faster. I'm like, nah, it's not worth it.
How do you distinguish a male from a female alligator?
Well, it's a joke. Well, like if you would ask me that and we were looking at an alligator, I'd say, you know how to do it? I go, stay. And if it stays, that's a male, because you know the female would have taken off. That's the joke. But honestly, the way you have to tell, you have to stick your finger up their rectum, and it tells what sex they are.
Just from the view, you don't see it.
No, you can't tell.
You can't tell. Okay.
You cannot. The ones you all saw, those mostly all of them are females. There is one little rogue male that's in there. In our pen inside, there's a bunch of males. But all these are pretty much all females. It's just they kind of stick together. And when we go back through, hopefully I can show them to you. I showed them to my last tour. There's a female down here that's got about 19 little babies. They're about 13 days old. They're about this long. They're little tiny, and I can get right next to them, so hopefully I can get you all some pictures of them. As long as we don't make the mother mad, because she's still sitting right there. All right, y'all ready for a little more wind?
Yes, sir.
Any more questions?
Why you
No.
guys have one? What's the difference between this part and the other part of the park? Where the
Nothing.
road is the same?
It's just different grasses, but it's the same thing. You're still in the Everglades.
This is sawgrass, right?
Yeah, well, no, this isn't sawgrass. This is needlegrass.
Oh, okay.
That's sawgrass over there. That's the tall grass behind me. That's all sawgrass.
I found a snail or something, whatever.